This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian. Fashion, movie reviews, and more. Worldwide TV Network, ITube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. Talk 4 Media, K4HD, radio and broadcasting. And so this is a special show, as usual, because not only do we have our friend, co-host, new best-selling author, and I would probably say tomorrow, international best-selling author, Linda Steele, from all the way from Chicago, vocally Tash from Miami, Florida, the one and only Howard Wiggins from Nashville, Tennessee, and Nonstop Terry Marie from Redondo Beach, California. So we're missing 2 people tonight. So Dr. Nooristani, he hasn't come on yet. Who knows? He's probably in surgery, knowing him, because he is a COVID-19 doctor and everything else. And then Rachel, her son Cooper, is sick, and she's kind of sick. So these things happen. And so with that, I want to start off with Linda. Let's talk about your day today. Let's talk about what you're doing. Let's talk about, you've been leading up to this moment for the longest time, and congratulations. I'm not even going to tell everybody what you do, because since you're one of our hosts and one of our friends, you get to introduce yourself. Go for it.
Thank you. My name is Linda Steele. I am a fitness trainer. I am a nutrition expert. Is that me? I'm going to get fired right now if that's my phone. I think it is. I'm so sorry. We're supposed to have all this stuff on silent. It's been so damn long that I've been on, so I missed everything. I'm so sorry. I'll get that in a minute. Anyhow, I'm a nutrition expert. I'm a fitness expert. And as of today, I am a best-selling author. I just launched a book today called Nerves of Steel. And it did really well, and I'm super excited about it. I can't imagine who's calling me right now.
I can imagine who's calling you. Everybody, including a lot of your fans. Because here's the thing: people don't realize you have a really huge fan base.
Yes, I do have a really huge fan base, and that's even losing my Twitter at 420,000. 420. I think I had 420. I don't even remember how many I had on Twitter, hundreds of thousands. And I had to start over.
Almost at 500,000 at one point on your Twitter. Yeah. Same thing on your Instagram before you got hacked. But we won't talk about that.
I know. YouTube, same thing. Like right as I'm about to for all this happened, a couple 20,000 people gone. I had to start over again. So it's been really a very challenging several months. But I'm telling you, my 2022 was better than 2021, better than 2020. My years just keep getting better. And I think it's because I'm not even kidding you when I tell you this, and it's in my book. I started getting rid of some toxic situations that I was in, and getting rid of toxic people that I was surrounded by. And it has made a world of difference. When you can get rid of that drama and rid of the bullshit, your life will change.
Tosh, what do you think about that?
I mean, that is 100% true, because I've literally been through that, where I've kind of brushed away people that have like that negativity and that they don't want to see you succeed. And they can it's a lot about speaking it into the universe. So if they're like, oh, like she's gonna fail, she's gonna do this, like all that like negative stuff gets in your way, and you don't like need those people in your life. Like you don't need to give them that positive energy. So I am with Linda. And I wanted to say, because I just got today my custom trends best of 2022, and look who we have on here. And I'm here like, oh my God, she looks so amazing. Cool. All these pictures, like you can't even see.
That's so cool. I don't even have that copy. That's so cool.
There we go. Look at these pictures, Linda. I love it. And we're talking about her book. Her book is right here. So this is awesome from Custom Trends, Trixie Jen. I wanted to congratulate you on that. And also, I'm not, behind either. I'm somewhere in here.
Are you in there?
Yeah, I'm in there too. It's all about. Here it is. So it's all about like when I went to the Latin Grammys and all my pictures, all my music. Really very cool stuff. Like a lot of like a bio and questions about like how it was. Like my time in the Latin Grammy. So so good job, Trixie. So I wanted to share that. Get your custom trends.
That is so cool. Good for you. I'm proud of you too.
Well, the good thing about that is that we can't leave out Howard and we can't leave out Terry. So you guys are next coming up with stuff. I think Terry, you're coming up soon in Invoid magazine, I believe, pretty soon. And then Linda also again. And then Howard's got some things coming up too. But go. That's interesting. Yeah. Let's go back to
before you know it, we're all fired and we're not going to have a show.
Let's go back to Terry, because I know Terry wanted to say something.
Oh, no. I just wanted to I've talked about this before, but I want to let Linda know I am a new affiliate social media influencer for this machine. It's called the Lumi. What this does is you breathe into this every morning and it tells you how your metabolism is working. So it'll let you know what your carbs should be, what your protein should be, and what your fat should be. Then you do it after you work out, and then it tells you how much, if you're burning carbs or if you're doing fat. Since I'm training for a new competition, this is my new edge, because we're always doing the science project of how many carbs I need, how much protein I need, how many fats I need. And so this is going to tell me if I'm burning fat or if I'm burning carbohydrates. So it's an awesome product. And then I've got a code, which is TMAC, that you can go on the Lumi site and you will get a discount of $50 off of the Lumi. And I am going to upload I did a video. I've got to upload that. I got to get approval from the company before I put it up. But that will have my code also. So I just wanted to let everybody know that this is really helping me with my dieting right now.
Good for you.
Yeah. So, and then I'm going to be working with Rachel. We're going to partner together and we're going to do a fitness and food kind of collaboration. So she can help me with, some food prep and I can help her with some exercise and we can talk about some fitness stuff. So I'll be going out to Houston. So that's what I got going on.
Hey, Linda, talk about this. Give the audience an idea of how you started leading up to releasing your book, because we planned this either in September or October, this date.
We did. How far back you want me to go? Should we go when?
This is your show. You could talk about anything. It's all about you, Nerves of Steel.
And again, I haven't been here in so long that I'm so rusty, but I started writing this book 3 years ago. And it wasn't until right around the middle of the summer that I felt that I had a pretty good handle on it. And I was ready to go. I sent it in for the editing. It had to go through a couple different editors. It had to go past an attorney, a number of hours past an attorney, and through the editors again. And, before we knew it, we were ready to go. And it was so nerve-wracking because I just hired 2 assistants and social media experts and SEO managers and so forth to try to help me promote, as well as the Hasmark publishing company. They were helping me with the marketing what to do for the marketing. And we were just kind of all putting our heads together and making it happen. I'm sure my social media fans were getting really tired of hearing about the book. We put it out there several times a week. Our followers, they don't really want to see all of that mumbo jumbo. They want to see us, what we do, like what we're wearing, where we're going, but they don't really, you know, unless they're like the true fans, they don't really want to know where our career's taking us. You know what I mean? So I'm sure some of them, their patience level was wearing a little thin, but I appreciate the support from all of them. Hasmark Publishing Company is phenomenal to work with. I will tell you that. They have a team that's there for you every single step of the way. And I couldn't have done it without them. Oh, there's me.
Let's talk about how you look, how you got that body. I mean, because you always talk about motivating people. That's not easy, especially now. Terry says the same thing. You know, it's not easy doing a lot of these things.
No, it's not. I mean, there's going to be a level of discipline that most people are not used to having on a regular basis. The discipline is going to be not only, you know, everybody talks about what I shouldn't eat. Oh my gosh, I can't eat that. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. But when you're bodybuilding, it's more about what you should be eating. You know, there's your protein intake. Terry just talked about, you know, how many carbs are you burning carbs? Are you burning fat? So, you know, there's so much taken into consideration when you're trying to get that, you know, healthy body. I've never done a fitness show like Terry's doing. I don't prepare for those, so it's going to be a little bit different. But you know, really, I'm all about eating clean and what to eat, but you know what not to eat, but you know, balancing out your diet, and it's really important. I can't promise anybody that I'm going to stop the aging process, but I can sure show you how to slow it. And that's something that comes with clean eating, and, you know, no alcohol and things like that.
Yeah. And I think I just kind of want to stress this, talking about the fitness shows. So everybody knows no one looks like they do on stage all year round. It's impossible unless you want to just basically like have no life because the diet is so strict. And I don't really necessarily think it's that healthy because it's kind of taxing on your thyroid. So I try to, when I'm not competing, to like, you know, have a healthy lifestyle. It's okay to have, you know, a little bit of body fat. We're all human, you know, be easy on yourself. But don't you agree, Linda? Like too many people sit there and think that all these competitors look like that all year round. We don't.
Yeah. No, and I, even where I used to keep my body fat, my body fat percentage now is probably in the high teens. I haven't taken it in quite a while. But, you know, back in the day when I was doing photo shoot after photo shoot every, you know, month or two, I would keep my body fat percentage at, you know, like 12%. And that's not that healthy. I mean, like, that's really hard to attain. It was a damn good thing that I was so busy with my clients all day and I didn't really have time to think about what I wanted to eat. It was, here's what's to eat. I have 3 minutes in between clients, or I'm eating in front of a client, and I'm not going to be eating pizza in front of a client. I'm going to eat chicken and broccoli because my client's watching. So I had, you know, I had some incentive and, you know, a lot of people watching that where I was supposed to be their role model. I had no choice. So I did keep a low body fat percentage, and even that 12% is not so healthy to keep all year round. But I did it for years. Now I'm in the teens.
Hey, Howard, talk about this because dancing is great too. And Tasha, I see you dancing all the time, and I love your videos. But Howard first, Howard, it was fun to watch Howard when I was last in Tennessee, and I have this great little clip that Howard sent me of you and Linda just talking on the red carpet there, and I loved that moment because you guys hadn't met before, but it was just great interaction, and I really loved that little clip. All right, go ahead, Howard.
Oh, actually, I was trying to find that today and didn't find it, so I'm glad you found it for me. But yes.
Oh, I want to see it. Can we see it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't have it set up, but I'll show it next week because she's on next week too.
Yeah,
but dancing. Well, dancing is a great way to move too.
I love dancing. I've danced all my life because that's exercise without knowing it. I mean, I can dance for 6 hours straight, nonstop, sweat like a pig, and it doesn't bother me one bit. So that and walking. I love to walk, especially at night. I don't know why, but I just like being out of the sun and walking. So I try to stay fit. I'm almost 70, and I don't know many people my age that look like I do at 70.
What, Howard? I didn't know that. Damn. I thought you were like in your early 50s, sir.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Wow.
Not
you
at all.
look really good.
So,
that's fantastic.
And if I do some more moves, I'm going to try to look better.
Hey, Tosh, talk about your dancing, because I've seen you do a couple little things too.
Well, yeah, like, TikTok dances that are like that have gone viral, and in the Spanish world, I try to keep up with that because I love dancing. I used to be in like choreography classes when I was younger, and I loved learning like dance moves and like dancing with a team. I found that so exhilarating, and I loved performing. So that's kind of, I think, how I grew into like loving music, because I was like performing as a dancer with teams. So I love doing that. Literally every weekend I try to go dancing at least once during the weekend, get the sweats out and the carbs out and just dance all night long, all night, all night. Oh my God, yeah, well, that's me. This is what happens when I dance after like 12 hours. I look that good. So this was a photo shoot that I did last weekend. So I got some of my photos in.
Oh, I love those pants.
And
that's a cute picture.
I got them from Shane. Thank you. Literally all my outfits are from Shane. So if I just want to get sponsored by Shane, and they say that I need to have 10,000 followers, and I'm like, wow, when I have 1 million, I'm not even gonna want you, okay? So, but these are amazing pictures. I took them for my press kit, which is for this whole year. Linda, you don't know, but I actually in Vegas met a publicist who is now my publicist. So, so a lot of great things are coming out from that. And these are some of the pictures that we chose together to prepare for my press kit. So a lot of cool things I'm being submitted to. So I think I'll be traveling a good amount this year again, fingers crossed, promoting my music and continuing the hustle. So yeah, I'm so happy about that. Thank you for showing that. Those pictures, literally, when you were talking about like how you have to watch your diet for photo shoots, literally that whole week, I was like, okay, no carbs, no sugar, no Diet Coke, no Coke. And I was like so happy that everything came out so cute. I was like, okay, I look cute.
Yeah. Terry, I saw you drinking that Diet Coke, Terry.
I know. I saw Terry. I'm like, I want one right now.
Well, I just cut a lot of stuff out of my diet. I'm going to cut the soda out, but I've cut dairy and I've cut gluten. And I've cut alcohol. So this is the last thing to go. So I've slowly weaned it out starting the first. So I'm going to be drinking. I drink a lot of water. I drink water all throughout the day anyway. But it's just sometimes I just have a little issues with like wanting something sweet, but that's the next thing to go.
Good. Well, I'm talking about water. So, Linda, you haven't gotten your balanced water 7 yet, but Tosh, I think you got yours. I know Howard finally got a gallon. I think.
I did. Yeah, I got mine. It's in the kitchen.
That. Well, so I just had a swig before. I love this to go one because I took a bunch of these at CES and I took these great little photos of things, but I like it. I think I'm not really tasting the taste anymore.
I was just about to ask you that. So that means your body is in a good balance. No more acid. So good for you, Brian, because I still taste like the weirdness, but a little bit.
It also helps is your super greens too, which is I've been using my super greens every day to make sure that I'm getting.
Oh, I think she froze.
Yeah, I think so. Are those from the same company? You guys would know.
Yes. I think, the super greens are from Balance 7.
Yeah, okay.
Little vitamins.
Yeah, I think I have all that coming. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you have yours coming, and then we have, Terry's frozen. So Howard is going to get some stuff next, and then Tosh, you didn't get the creams, facial creams, right?
No creams.
Okay, so he's getting that. Howard's getting that, and then Linda, I think, is going to already get that too. So
I don't know that he mentioned anything about facial creams.
Oh no, you're going to get that. You just didn't know.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
Good to know.
Hey, Howard, talk about this because I've been talking to a couple of people about your youth and the things that you're doing. So Howard's got this fan base. I'm not sure he realizes how big it is, but there's a lot of people on the YouTube chatting about you. I don't know if you know about that or not.
I don't. Tell me.
Well, when I started putting, remember, Linda, I was telling you about the clips, and Tasha's been doing hers on the YouTube Shorts.
The Shorts, yeah.
They've been kicking butt. So what's been happening is Howard is number one. It started with 3,000. It went to 7, went to 9, went to 10. And I thought it was going to stop at 20,000. He's at 34,000 and still climbing. I get 2 or 3 on his 9-second clip. And Howard is the James Brown one. And then the other one's at 7,000. So they love his dancing. And it's like fascinates me. And then when I put up, obviously I put up Linda, I put up you and Kendall cooking. That one of those was at 7,000. The other one was at like 8,000. And that's when I was testing it. And I know when Tosh put up something, she sent me something. I put up some of hers, and hers went to 3,000 and 6,000. And then she started doing it. I'm like, I'm sticking to YouTube Shorts.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of followers from those YouTube Shorts. And the fact that it was like the newest thing on YouTube, I think that also helped getting all those views, because not everybody knew about that.
Right.
Tosh, you could do a video with your pictures because they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I posted like one that I did of like my different outfit changes, and that one is at 2,000 right now. So it's
awesome.
It's working.
So Linda, you can imagine what's going to happen with yours when your team starts doing your shorts, because you've been busy. I don't think people realize how busy you've been the last really 4 years. And then you got to talk about Macrame Meals too.
Yeah. So Macrame Meals is doing great. Kendall is killing it. She's, every week we have more orders. She just had to redo a website, and the website is working well. Finally, it was a couple weeks of it not working so well, but we have it working well. So that's going nice. On Thursdays and Fridays, it's all about Macrame Meals for me. I train clients on Thursdays as well. So I'm so busy. My days are with clients on the gym floor by 7 or 8 a.m. I'm working some nights until 9 o'clock at night, again, with clients. January, people start coming back. So I have a couple new clients, and then I have a couple people coming back who are older clients, and they're filling every minute. So getting this book done was very challenging because of my schedule. Some people write a book and, they're not working, or, they're working, just 9 to 5. My schedule is never 9 to 5. It's always much longer than that. So it's been challenging to get it done. It was very nice. Yesterday, I was in a little bit of a crabby mood, actually, for the last few days prior to this, because I kept wanting everything to go right. And I gave the analogy of, like it's a couple of days before your wedding, and you're the bride, and you're mad at everybody, and you just realize you have to start doing everything yourself, and it gets frustrating. Little things aggravate you, and then it's the day of the wedding, and you're like, screw it. I mean, what? It's either all going to go right or things are going to go wrong, and either way, there's nothing you can do about it now. So let's just have fun with this. So I woke up this morning in such a great mood, and I wonder if my energy is what made everything happen the way that it happened, because things went really well today. My numbers were better than I could have ever expected, especially so early on in the day.
Now, I've never seen this. So you're, what are you, 7th in a new release in Women in Business, 11th in new releases in Women's Health, 8 new releases in General Women's Health. You must have been really, really happy when you just saw those things. I hadn't seen some of these things like that before, but I love how they broke some of these down. And this wasn't even outside the U.S. yet, Canada and Spain, and I think the U.K. either, was it?
No, this is just the U.S. Those recent numbers I gave you were just the U.S. And I was number one in business biography. What was it? I can tell you in a minute. Number one, new
release business professional biographies.
Business professional biographies. I mean, I didn't expect that. I was just hoping for like bestseller. If I can get bestseller, oh my gosh, that's all I really wanted. And then when at 11 o'clock a.m., when Hasmark Publishing, when Judy contacted me and said, I've got good news for you. Your book is officially in the bestsellers list, and you're ranking internationally in the UK, Canada, and Spain. So they're watching that closely. I couldn't. I mean, it was just hours after we woke up. I was just dumbfounded. I had clients and friends and family sending me screenshots of their orders. Order your book, and I'm so excited about it. I'm overwhelmed with the amount of support that I got, because you know, you don't really realize who's out there watching sometimes. Because me, anyway, I'm so busy with my work life that I don't pay enough attention to what's going on in the back, you know, behind the scenes.
I tell Terry, everybody's always watching us, and they are, because when I see them chiming in on little things here and there, and they're asking, well, who's that girl with the red hair? I'm like, are you talking about Tosh? And they're like, yeah, that's her. She's Spanish or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's her. And then who's the guy who's dancing on it? Well, that's Howard. It's not me. You know, so there you go. And then, you know, and I keep telling Terry, just keep creating her designs, because she really is a great artist. And I can't wait to have her come to the LA Art Show with us, because I think she'll be even more inspired with that. But I really do see, Terry, I really see your stuff taking off. And when I see something taking off, it does. Because one reason I'm putting it out that way, but also it's just creating that path that makes sense. It's almost like how Linda wrote her book. She almost had to write it twice, huh, Linda?
I did. I almost had it right. Well, the ending changed, number one. And to be honest with you, I feel like...
Why? You were lying the whole time?
No. The ending changed because at a certain point, and it wasn't the ending, but the ending is a little bit of a shocker, to be honest. But the end ended at a point in time where I had a breakup, and it was really a, you know, I'm not taking shit from nobody kind of ending. And although that's great, you know, that's like, yeah, you know, you go. It was actually when we rekindled and got back together. That's really the lesson that this book should be giving. It shouldn't just be all the BS that one goes through in life. It should be all the BS, and then, but what do we, you know, how are we going to learn from it? Like, what do we do? Not just keep digging your heels in, and not just keep putting your guard up and don't let anybody hurt you, but how do we grow from it? Can you ever have a good relationship again in your life if you've had bad relationship after bad relationship? Like, where do you go from there? How will you ever have a successful relationship unless you're just good at being alone for the rest of your life? And some people are very content with that, but that's not where I saw myself. And so I learned that if you make some changes, and there's a fine line between being empathetic and letting somebody walk all over you. You know what I mean? And you can have control of that. You can not feel like you're being watched. You know, people like me who had the background that I had in the past that I had, my guard was always up and I was always on the defense. I was always waiting for someone to mistreat me so I could get, stand my ground. And I realized it doesn't have to be that bad. It doesn't have to be like that.
Talk about this, and then I'm going to go to Terry. It was interesting when I was reading the early part, when I was traveling from Atlanta to North Carolina. I'm reading about when you meet your first boyfriend, and your dad's not so happy about this. Mm-hmm. And I found, I understand Linda a lot more now. And I only was on page 26 at that point. I'm like, oh my God. But it was like a page turner. It was like a soap opera. And I really enjoyed it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then going from home to home, weekend to weekend with what was it, your stepdad? Oh no, your real dad, and then the stepdad or whatever. And I'm like, I understand her why she goes through these things a lot better. I get it.
Yeah. People will get me so much better, so much more when they read this book, but it's also going to parallel a lot of things in their lives. Anybody who's had divorced parents, they're going to go, oh yeah, I remember that. Anyone who didn't get along with one of their step parents, anyone who had step siblings, anyone who had, daddy issues, there's so many things in the book that can parallel people's lives. And whether you're a man or a woman, because what winds up happening with a lot of people with my background is you wind up getting into some toxic relationships, and you can't really get out of them. You're almost addicted to them. And but I train, 50% of my clientele are male. And when you hear stories like this, you automatically think, oh, the woman's stuck in a bad situation. I have more male clients and friends who are stuck in a bad situation that they don't know how to get out of, and more than you think. We only hear about women because women are the only ones who are allowed to talk about it, because men aren't allowed to talk about their mental health. It makes them feel weak or sound weak, or I don't know what society thinks, but I certainly don't. They're just people like me and everybody else. But some men don't want to talk about it, and they feel like they can't. And so I think even men will appreciate the idea of my book.
It'll definitely help. And then Terry, I got to mention this. You look really nice tonight.
Oh, thank you.
So, but also she's had an attitude change. So you have to talk about that, because if it's not happening on the inside, and Linda will tell you, it's going to show on the outside.
Yep.
Right, Terry?
Well, I've just come to the acceptance of what's going on with my mother. So I think that acceptance is just maybe be able to handle the situation a little bit better. That's about all that's really happened. Is I've just kind of like there's nothing. I just have to. It's about acceptance. That's all about the situation. And then getting up every day and then doing what I need to do. So that's what I did. So
yeah, I love all the pictures that you've been posting, like for a new was that a photo shoot, or were those just like
actually I've been working on my social media for the last 6 months. I just didn't say anything on it, so now I'm just releasing all the stuff I've had for all the content now, because it's ready to be released. I just wanted to have enough content to start it. I didn't want to start posting stuff and then not have you know how social media it is. It's work. So yeah. I need to make sure that I've got enough to consistently post, and then I can start doing more photo shoots now that I'm training again, and add that content to everything. So that's kind of like it's been there. It's just stuff that I've worked on the last 6 months that now is coming out.
Hey, Howard, talk about what room you're in, because I swear Howard has 100 rooms in his place, but he does other things.
There's no new places.
Same room. Different corners in the same room.
Different corners? Well, I mean, you're pretty good at that, because I'm like, how many rooms are in this house? Like, you can host all of us.
It's a small house. But when I was younger, I was one of the world's 35 leading interior designers. And this house was featured with Ivana Trump, George Harris of the Beatles, and some very, very famous billionaires that had their house featured, and mine was also. You can't tell by the pictures what size it is, because all they are pretty pictures. So, but that's how I live my life. I mean, I started when I was a teenager collecting things, and still do. So.
Wait, so all these rooms that you're in, you design, design the whole interior?
Yeah, everything that's in it, of course, yes. The paint colors and stuff. In fact, that blue wall, I don't know if you can tell it behind me so much because of the lighting, but that's a custom color that I actually picked out and had custom mixed. And I don't like to copy anybody. I want to be ahead of everybody, just like when I dress or anything else. I want to be the originator. I don't want to be a copycat. So
definitely not a copycat. You're leading the way, Howard. No, hands down.
Thank you.
Howard, if there was somebody that wanted you to be like their interior design, would you still do it? Or is that something that you don't do anymore?
When I retired about 4 years ago, I took down my website and stuff like that. And I didn't keep up my license, but I can get it in a minute. It depends on how much money they're willing to spend. If it's a big deal, I'll go back, because it's in my heart, and I always will be an interior designer no matter what. Actually, this February, there's a lot of good shows coming to Nashville. There's the Heart of Country show, Antique and Garden show. There's another show I'm going to in February in Atlanta. So if you watch my Facebook posts, I'm going to be posting a lot of beautiful antiques, because antiques are where my heart is. Also art. I love art. And then I like new things too. I like a mixture of everything. So, because you can't be an interior designer and not like all of it. So, yeah.
Hey Tosh, what are you working on now? Because you did that press release. You've learned a lot by doing things by yourself, and it's not easy, is it?
It's not. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work, and sometimes it's like it kind of drains me from my creative, part in music. So that's why I decided that I needed to get somebody else to help me so I could focus a little bit more on my creative side and like not have so much energy in like, marketing and all that stuff, even though I still do it. But I'm glad that this lady that I met is going to be able to push me more into the areas that I haven't been able to get to that she has connections in. So yeah, it's hard. It's very hard. And I'm happy that I can just like focus on my music more now. Like I'm going back into the studio in 2 weeks for a new song. I'm recording my new music video in March, like beginning of March. So I'm very excited about that. Learning a new choreography with new dancers that are gonna appear in the video. So those are all the things that I've been able to work on, and I'm like really excited. I wish I can like already like be done with it and show it, because it takes so much time, and then like the end product is like 3 minutes, and it's like, oh my god, it took me like 2 months of preparation, like learning all of this stuff for just one song. So it's a lot of energy, but I feel my best when I'm involved in the creative process of everything. So I'm just excited for what 2023 is throwing at me so far. I feel like last year was a really great year for me. It was a year that I never thought I would have so soon in my career. So I'm expecting a lot of great opportunities this year, manifesting all that great stuff. So that's all I've been working on right now. And then I've been trying to get a little bit more into local shows in Miami. Instead of like, well, I would love to still travel and do some shows outside of Florida, but kind of focusing a little bit more on my hometown for now. And I do have a showcase that's coming up in February, so I'm really pumped about that. I'll be like competing with like 15 other Latin artists in Miami, so that'll be very, very cool to do. It'll be back. It's like I love competing, and I love meeting people in the industry that are in like the same position that I'm in. So it's nice to be able to connect with new artists.
Tosh, well, you got doing a dual song with someone else?
So I do have one actually. It should be coming out in the next couple of months. It was supposed to come out like on Valentine's Day, but I haven't really heard back on that. But I did do a duo with this Mexican artist that we had interviewed about like 2 years ago. His name is Ian Guerin, and we did a really amazing song together. It's actually going to appear on a TV show that is that was filmed in Mexico, and they're releasing it on a network. I don't remember what network it is, but the song is on one of the episodes, which is really cool. But haven't really heard much about it. Like we recorded the music video, like my vocals are done, so now it's just mastering the whole song together. But yes, that duo will be dropped this year, and it's a really fun song. It's a Spanglish song. It's basically me and him telling each other to fuck off, in other words. So it's a very fun, powerful song.
Yeah.
Hey, Linda, talk about this. And then Howard, I'm going to go back to your little surprise as we keep teasing the audience what you got coming up. And I think that's great. Talk about the nuns. Talk about what your fan base expects from getting this book, because that'll be interesting to hear their taste on things and getting to know you in a different way. And what your mom thinks about this.
When I called my mom, I had a group chat today via text with my family, my daughters, my mom, my sister, my nieces and nephews. And I sent them a screenshot of Judy from Hasbro saying, Linda, I have some great news. You've been officially, bestseller. And so I took a screenshot and I sent it to the group, and everybody commented except for my mom. So I called my mom, and about 10 minutes later, And I said, hey, Mom, what are you doing? She said, oh, I'm just walking down to lunch. And I said, well, I have something to tell you. Let me read you this email that I just got from the publishing company. And I read it out loud to her, and she started crying. She said, oh my God, my baby. Like, she was so happy for me. And she knows how hard I work. She knows how hard I've worked. And she read the book. I let her read the book. I asked her to help me when the layout came from the publishing company, and they said, here's your chance to make any last minute changes. I thought that'd be a great time to get my mom involved. So she's read the book already. So she was already pretty emotional about it. And when she heard that it hit bestseller status, she was just beside herself. And I told her, I said, I'm glad I caught you on your way to lunch, because I know you love to go and brag to everybody at your table. So
she definitely did.
You got some great material today. And yeah, she was just beside herself. And she texted me before the show, and she said, so how was your day today? You know, and I gave her the list of the rankings, you know, the final rankings for today. And she's just beside herself. So proud.
She's so cute. She commented like on the thing. She says, hi, my international best-selling author, Mom is on.
That's so sweet. Oh, there it is. She is so sweet. Hi, Mom. I'm glad you're on.
Isn't that great? I mean, you have these. Well, again, when I think of Chicago, I think of Linda Steele, and then I think of her mom, and then her daughters, and everybody else. And I can't leave your dog out either, Linda.
Yeah, I know. No kidding. Well, I'm going to tell you one thing about my book. If you think Chicago when you think of Linda Steele, the very last page or so of my book, it's an epilogue, and it's actually quite a surprise. And Brian, I don't even know if I included it when I sent you a copy, because I wasn't sure that I was going to include it. But I did include it, and I included it because that was the whole idea of life keeps coming at you. Just when you think that, okay, this is the last lesson that I'm going to learn in life, thanks God, this is it, right? Just when you think you have that last lesson that came at you, there's another one waiting. And so, my best advice to everybody is to just learn to adapt, because life just keeps coming at you. Well, anyway, so like I said, there's a surprise ending to my book, and I actually divulged some private information. And if you think Chicago when you think of Linda Steele, this will be even more so.
I'm
excited because I bought my copy, so I'm
you
really
did?
excited. Yes, I'm really excited to read it. And Brian, he told me he read the one from before, or like the one that you were doing, like a rough draft.
Yeah.
And he was like, Natasha, you're gonna love this book. Like, this is if you don't know Linda Steele, like, you're gonna know her even better after reading this book. So I'm like, support.
Linda, I didn't tell you this. I almost missed 2 flights because I was reading it off of my tablet. And as they were calling it, I'm like, I'm not going to get on this flight, so let me just read. And then they call me, I'm like, oh, I'm at a good part, and I don't want to get on the plane because I'm not going to read it on the plane. I was reading it while I was waiting, but it was good.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's a good part about this, because I know how hard you've worked, and a lot of people don't know the stuff that we've all gone through behind the scenes. I'm not even going to tell my family about my book. They're going to have to wait. You guys will know more than my family will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually how it happens. Your friends and family, as close as you are with them, some of them don't really know what's going on in your life. I didn't, a lot of my close friends knew what was going on, but, I didn't really talk about a whole lot of things when I was younger. I was just trying to be a kid, so I know what you're saying, Brian, and I'm sure your family will be surprised. Some of them might not be so happy, but some of them will, think it's great.
Oh, no, they're not going to be happy at all. I can tell you that.
Hey, man, you know what I have to say? I have to say to them? They should have been nicer to you. Okay? That's what I have to say to them.
Ooh.
Exactly. Hey, talk about the nuns and macrame meals, and then we'll go to Howard.
Okay, so the nuns from St. Joseph's Little Sisters of the Poor, that is where my mom lives, and it is a home for the elderly, and it's owned and run by nuns and benefactors and volunteers, and it's just a fantastic place for my mom and for everybody who's there. They are treated like royalty. The nuns have taken an oath to service, and they treat the elderly like they're, again, like they're royalty. It's just a fantastic place. If anyone's ever looking for a good charity to donate to, I highly, highly recommend it. Any extra, monies or proceeds that I ever, make from any, little auctions I have going on, I always donate my money to them. It always goes to a good place. So Little Sisters of the Poor, that's my favorite charity out there. And if you need more information, please contact me. I'd be happy to put you in contact with somebody.
And Macrame Meals?
MacRaeMeals.com. Order. We got a new website. Kendall Joe is making a new menu every month now. We were doing it every 2 or 3 months, and we decided to do every month. It's going. Her options are so great that people are so mad when they're gone, and it's the next month. And then we get them attached to those meals, and then they're gone, and it's the next one. But nobody gets tired of what they're eating, and they absolutely love them. Healthy meals, but that are delicious.
And the website again?
MacroMadeMeals.com.
All right, Howard, let's talk about a little teasing. Let's keep teasing that audience, right?
Okay. Actually, I had a good weekend this week. I connected on the movie I'm going to do, Who's Going to Take Care of Me? Catherine Pacino, Al Pacino's stepmother. She was doing a scene in there. And if you go to my Facebook page, she says, I love a man who can dress, dance, and decorate. so I texted her back. I said, well, I hope to see you at the premiere. And so hopefully we'll get set together at the premiere.
Oh.
So, and then I went to another event where I went dancing, and I connected to Roy Clark's nephew, which owns a publishing company, a $26 million record publishing company. That so, you got to get out there and socialize and make connections, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the connections, it's not going to take
Right.
you, because people make you, So
Yeah,
that
but I
is
had
true.
a great time. Yeah.
Hey, Howard, give her favorite memory of Lisa Marie Presley also.
I have. I don't know. I didn't know Lisa Marie. I have a lot of friends that did know Lisa Marie. In fact, it was one of my good friends went to the Elvis event and saw her that day. And, she wasn't looking very good. And a lot of people were saying not nice things about her. And then the next day she died. So I hope people will realize what you have to say may come back and bite you. So anyway.
All right, Tosh, website one more time. We got about 2 minutes left.
Yes, it's NatashaRumbosmusic.com, and then all my social media platforms, it's at Vocally Tosh. And yeah, keep up with me on Instagram. I'm gonna be dropping these pictures real soon. But I've been doing little cute reels about. Oh, and also I did a reel about my weekend. Last weekend I went drinking around the world in Epcot, which was really fun. And yes, it was good. It was really cold. It was 40 degrees, and I'm not used to that here down in Miami. So it was a very different weather change. I felt like I was in Disneyland instead of Disney World, but it was nice.
Terry?
My social media is Terry Marie Nonstop on all platforms, and then my website is terrymarieofficial.com.
So Linda, I'm going to give you the last word before we end. So why should people buy this book? What do you think they'll come out knowing? And have you been to the movies lately?
I've not been to the movies lately. I've been watching Netflix and Paramount and all that. I'm addicted to Yellowstone. I'm into 1923 now. I'm hoping that Virgin River has a new series coming out soon. These are the ones that's what I spend my time doing. And why should somebody buy my book? There are really good lessons to be learned. You're going to learn you're not alone. And I hope that I can help inspire you to get over the toxic situations that you might be in.
So yes, so 1923 Taylor Sheridan is the person out there. I can, I was hoping to run into him. I have a feeling I will, because I'm going to tell him about Howard. First of all, I'm going to say, this guy, Howard Wiggins, you need to cast him. Don't even think about it. You need to. And then I think what's going to happen next, because once I start thinking about these things, they do happen. I see you all having your own toy figurines. I'm going to look to see about making that happen. Like I said, I'm going to have Tosh get a new TV, and she's got something coming. I'm working on a couple things, and Terry, I'm not even going to tell her. And Howard already knows what I'm working on. And Linda, I see a toy figurine in your future.
Great. I can't imagine what it was going to look like.
What you going to wear is what I want to know.
I'll tell you at the end of February.
Okay, the shoes are everything.
Oh, we can't get out of here, Linda, without talking about your shoe closet. How many shoes do you have now? And talk about those high heels.
I don't know how many shoes I have. I've never counted them, but I'm selling a bunch on Poshmark, and they're going very well, actually. So, and what was the second question?
Why do you like those high heel shoes?
I just feel good in them. I just feel like I walk taller, and that my legs look nicer. I don't know. I'm just more comfortable in them. And you know what? Nobody else wears them. That's why. I don't like to. I don't like to blend. I don't know if you could tell that by knowing me.
I'm a heel girl too, though. I love high heels.
Yeah. I don't like to blend.
Well, like I always tell people, I'm gonna bring back that little clip that I showed of Linda's shoe closet, because I call it the museum of shoes. Because once they're walking that little circle there, so Howard should do a dance around there when we go to Chicago. That would be fun to see him dancing in your shoe closet.
When are you guys coming to Chicago?
I'm working on it, because I just met Gary Stein from Stein Pinball. Remember them?
Yeah, he's down the street.
Oh, you met him. That's right, at CES, right?
Yeah, he invited us for a private tour. I said, it's got to be Linda's thing, Angelica there, and then Stern Pinball, and then whatever else we can connect. And that will be that. So anyhow, got to thank everybody for coming on. Thank you, Tosh. Thank you, Howard. Thank you, Linda. What's the name of your book, Linda?
Nerves of Steel.
Thank you, Nonstop, obviously. And I always say this: have a good night tonight, a better night tomorrow. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours, because the world needs it. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.